You're not going to miss it. Free agency just keeps rolling. Big time trades, big time players. The dominoes keep falling. I'm going to hit that up for you guys on SchuZ Views episode 26. It's going to be big time. I'm going to go east, west, and then I'm going to give you guys a playoff, how it's going to turn out next year, who I think is going to win, how it's going to break down, and a power rankings as of this moment. Everyone on the rosters. That's what I'm talking about. I'm also going to let you guys know about SchuZ Zone. You're not going to miss that fan favorite, but you're not going to miss it because let me let you guys know this part. Midway through the show, you guys know after the first topic, our special guest, Chianti Clay Jr., you're not going to miss it. He just finished up the Peace Jam on the EYBL circuit with Mac Irvin Fire. Then he's just transferred out to Hillcrest. It's going to be big time. You're not going to miss what he has to say as he's one of the top shooters in all the country. You're not going to miss it, folks. SchuZ Views episode 26 is big time. Now, don't miss it, because also go follow me on Instagram as Schumaker or Twitter as Schumaker, where I'm going to give you guys all the info, or go catch the most recent episode of The Breakdown. My show, our breakdown highlights with the top players. The first episode's out now on my YouTube channel. You're not going to miss it with Troll Mario. Go check it out, everyone. But right now, SchuZ Views episode 26 is on its way. How's everyone doing today? I hope that everyone has had a great start to your week so far. I'm your host, SchuZ Schumaker, and I'm back in my home in Gilbert, Arizona, ready to hit up this past week's moves. You're not going to want to miss a special guest Chianti Clay Jr. has to say, as he's recently transferred to Hillcrest Prep, and he just finished up his AAU season with Mac Irvin Fire. But before that, let's get into this week's moves. Once again, this week's free agency has been crazy, as it continues to be the greatest free agency class in period, in fact, and basically all of NBA history, if not all of sports history. So I'm going to go down the teams once again. Won't probably take as long as there's not as many moves as happened the past week, but let's get right into it, folks. So, with the Milwaukee Bucks, yes, they become a squad of brothers. You have Giannis Antetokounmpo teaming with Giannis. Of course, you already know about Robin and Brooke playing together. And they have Wesley Matthews, obviously, to fill the shoes of Brogdon. Now, I need to talk about this because there's an issue here. I'm not a big fan of this because you got to look at this team. It's basically, you're looking at this. Wesley Matthews and Robin Lopez. You're basically taking those two and trading them off for Mirotic and Brogdon. I mean, it doesn't quite make sense. It's not really the best scenario right now for them, but it is what it is. But I think that they have gone down a little bit, and you guys will see that when I talk about power rankings in a little bit. Toronto, yeah, they're starting to make moves. They know that they've lost Kawhi Leonard, so they went and got busy. They got a lot of forwards. They brought back Patrick McCaw. They signed Matt Thomas, Stanley Johnson, Rondae Hall-Jefferson. Obviously, Stanley and Rondae are teaming back up, which is awesome. And Terrence Davis, the undrafted free agent, was playing for Denver Summer League, brought him on over. So yes, they're loaded there in terms of forwards and development projects, but we'll see what they do. I do expect a lot of trades to come from Toronto. I don't think this roster is complete one bit whatsoever yet. So, let's not talk about this now. As for the Philadelphia 76ers, they have been busy as well. Obviously, they brought back Tobias, let Jimmy Butler go on that sign and trade. They brought back James Ennis. They signed Shake Milton to a 4-year minimum deal, and they brought Raul Neto back in. So now they've lost a few guys. Now obviously lost McConnell now. Boban's out. They split up Boban and Toby, which is unfortunate. But as Tobias said, we can still be friends. It's just through the phone. Neto had a chance to be the backup point guard. We'll see that. Ben Simmons obviously just went down and got his max extension for 5 years. Interesting note. We'll see how that turns out and how this team pans out. Obviously, I love the Josh Richardson. They're looking solid. I really like it. I mean, they got some moves going on in Philly, as we know that. Now out in Boston, brought back Brad Wanamaker to a 1-year minimum deal. Signed Vincent Poirier to a 2-year minimum. Tyson's back. Tyson and Cantor obviously both on a 2-year, $10 million. Interesting that they're basically the same price, but obviously Cantor's more. I think Cantor, to be honest, is the biggest bargain of the offseason so far. He might just be this year's Ed Davis. I mean, $5 million per year for a guy like Enes Kanter, a guy that can very well be a 20-12 guy, 20-10 guy. I mean, it's something special. I think they're going to continue to make moves, but I like what Boston's doing. I mean, they haven't lost too much more. Obviously, the big Marcus Morris fiasco I'll get into in a little bit. I mean, they have a team. They do have a team. We'll just see where that goes. Now, as for Indiana, you're going to look at some moves now. They brought T.J. McConnell to be the backup point guard. I really do like that move, to be honest. Edmund Sumner, he's back on a 3-year, $6.5 million to join Lamb and Brogdon. They've got a lot of guards in. And this is one of those things that they lost a starter in Thad Young. But I'm not really losing that because I like Sabonis starting. He needed to be a guy that starts. Obviously now, but this is what I'm talking about. They have lost so many guys. Darren Collison retired. Tyreek Evans is thrown out of the NBA. Corey Joseph went to Sacramento. Wesley Matthews is at Milwaukee. Boyan, which is a huge loss, went to Utah. Thad Young's at Chicago, and Kyle Quinn went to Philly. They've got moves. They got a lot of. They look a whole lot different. But I do think they're about ready to finish this roster up. They got Goga, the rookie, signed. I like that move. Now Brooklyn, we know they've been busy. Obviously got DeAndre. They got Wilson Chandler, Theo Pinson. We know Temple, KD, and Kyrie. Yeah, Theo Pinson, he's coming back to a 2-year deal. I love that move. Gives the bench energy. Also is a very good, solid young player. David Nwaba, He's coming on a 2-year, 3.5 to basically fill out the roster. We're at 15 guys now, depending on what we do with KD. I was talking to Anthony Puccio the other day from the Brooklyn Nets main reporter. The Nets do not plan to use a disabled player exception on him because we heard there might just be a chance that Kevin Durant might play the playoffs. I don't believe it. I don't think it's going to happen. They just haven't evaluated him well yet, but we will see. Now, they've lost Travion Graham and Napier also did that. Obviously, the D'Lo. Rondé went to Toronto, they just talked about, and Dudley's in LA. Interesting moves, but I like what Brooklyn's looking like. They obviously just also got the two-way deal of Henry Allenson, which is a player that can produce at an NBA level. Not sure the level it will be, but he's a very solid two-way player. I like the signing there. Orlando, they've got Ken Burch back. They got MCW back. They really, Ross and Vucevic, obviously, they only really added Aminu. Haven't lost too many guys. I mean, I like the way they're looking, but they're not even close to being done. They did a stretch provision on Timothy Mozgov, so he's not on the roster anymore. It's cleared a little bit of cap, but I think Orlando's looking to make moves. Either go big and get DeRozan, or go get Dragic. I mean, they need to do something to fill out this roster, as I've said. I think a lineup of Dragic, Fournier, Isaac, Aminu, and Vooch is something special. Obviously, that means Gordon's being traded, Bamba being traded. I love Ken Burch being the backup center. Probably DJ Augustin just because it'd be a little awkward going from starting to bench. I think he'd be on the move, but we will see. As for Detroit Pistons, they brought Markieff Morris. We know that. Tim Frazier, Derrick Rose, I like it. They lost Ben Robinson. I mean, they haven't been too active. They've been in a lot of trade talks. Obviously, didn't do their Westbrook trigger. We'll see. They got a lot that they need to be working on. Not sure how the rush is looking. I do think Blake Griffin might be traded, though. There's a chance, not a high chance, but they said that they want to build around Drummond. I support that. I love Drummond. You guys know that. Just not sure how it's all going to work out. They're basically dead in money, so they need to figure out what they're going to do out in Detroit. I think where Jackson's got to go, too. We'll figure out how that turns out. Now, Charlotte Hornets. They haven't been busy either. Terry Rozier's the only guy. They've lost Kaminsky now to Phoenix. 2-year, $10 million deal there. But I like the way they're building. Bridges looks like legit. I'm not sure how to pull off what he did the Euro and win. I mean, sheesh. I know he's special. Talk about that. Malik Monk, I like him. I mean, I like Dwayne Bacon. Obviously, you guys know my feelings about him. Rozier, I think he's going to be special there. PJ Washington, we'll see what he does, but I think Kupchak did a great selection there. Obviously, we'll get to this in a minute, but Brandon Clark should have been in that pick. I know Mitch loved him, but I mean, Brandon Clark's someone that he's a stud. We saw that one MVP of the Summer League. But, anyways, Charlotte, I think they might be tanking trying to get James Wiseman. I would love that addition. But Charlotte, this is basically the rush. Mitch Kupchak's just sitting duck. He's just waiting almost because there's nothing to do. When you got contracts of Batum, you got contracts of Kid Gilchrist, you got Marvin Williams, Cody Zeller, Bismack, Biyombo. They've got contracts that need to go. And once all this happens next year, a lot of moves will be done by Charlotte. Now for Miami, they're not aggressive on CP3. Obviously, they didn't pull off the trigger and get Russell Westbrook. So they haven't really done too much more. They've really just been waiting. I mean, this has been a lot of guys being potentially moved, not being moved. Guys that got like Mo Harkless, they thought they got, and it became the 3 or 4 team deal where he went to Clippers, so on and so on. I mean, but point is, you're looking at, Bam Adebayo, I like him. I think he's going to take a big step, and everyone's going to learn his name this year. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff we're just going to have to see. They have Leonard and Olynyk, which are practically the same player. I wouldn't be surprised to see one of those guys move. We'll see other young guys play. Tyler Hero's a stud. I think he's a big. If they want to go win now, he'll be a big time player you could potentially see move. Once again, I don't think Dragic will be remaining with the team. As I said, the relationship's not in the best situation. Washington, they brought in Isaiah Thomas to a 1-year minimum. They struck gold there. Like I said, what's the worst that could happen? Best, you get an MVP caliber player. Worst, 1-year minimum deal. Like everyone else could have been a minimum, and you just let him go on the end of the year, or you waive him. I mean, it's not a big deal. I think it's a perfect signing. Well done for Washington and the front office and who's making moves up there. Obviously, they also signed the undrafted free agent Justin Robinson to a deal, multi-year. Now they haven't quite come off the rest of the deals. Dwight Parker's on the move to Atlanta. We'll talk about that in just right after this. I mean, I just like what they're doing now. I mean, Dwight Howard's been moved. They traded him now. Obviously, that move was done in the move to Memphis. They got C.J. Miles in return. And then, obviously, on Washington, they also added on Davis Bertans. They got Carroll moving to San Antonio. And, obviously, Brooklyn, they got the rights to 2 overseas players. Not a bad move at all there. Now talking about Atlanta. Well, they've only got Jabari Parker. They don't have a lot of money. They made a lot of moves, but that's a perfect signing. Jabari Parker can ball. You put him in this young core, just more and more young pieces. They're going to have to fight. They're going to have to battle and Lord Pierce's system to see who comes out. Obviously, you see the other trade now. The Amari Spellman one, they got Damian Jones. I like him. He can definitely be a modern-day stretch center. I mean, a shot-blocking, rim-protecting center. I love it. Miles Plumlee, he's also out in the trade to Memphis as well. I really do like what Atlanta's doing. Once again, they've done perfect things. Just absolutely fabulous what they're doing right now. Huge fans of it. I mean, I couldn't be more ecstatic if you're an Atlanta fan. Also, adding guys like Evan Turner, love that move. Losing Solomon Hills, I mean, I really do like what Atlanta is doing right now. Chicago, haven't done much. Obviously brought back Ryan Archidiak along with Satoransky. It signed trade for Satoransky and then signing Thad Young. They also signed Luke Cornett to a 2-year deal. Only really lost Robin Lopez now. They waived Shaquille Harrison. I think he should be picked up. I really do like that kid's game. I truly do. He's a really good player. I mean, you just got a lot of good moves, a lot of pieces here in Chicago. I like it. I mean, Chicago's going to have to do some battling. Chris Dunn will be on the movie for the start of the season. I know. Boylan said he's going to be starting. It's not happening. Kobe White's the starter. Levine might be on the move to Oklahoma, I'm hearing. We will see exactly how true that is, obviously, if it occurs or not. Now, Cleveland obviously lost David Nwaba, but they finally have lost J.R. Smith. They have waived him. They couldn't find the trade partner. He is on the move. We'll see where that goes. But Cleveland expects him to get busy. Tristan Thompson could be on the move. Kevin Love could be on the move. Larry Nance might be on the move. John Henson, same thing. I mean, you got C.D. Osman could be on the move. Clarkson, Della DeWeva, Brandon Knight. A lot of these guys, they just got young pieces. We'll see how they pan out. It's going to be interesting to see, though. As for New York, you look at this. I mean, they just keep adding forwards. I mean, they're over like $60 million now in power forwards being signed. I mean, you look at this. Julius Randle, Todd Gibson, Bobby Portis. Reggie Volok's not official yet. They're still reworking that deal. Wayne Ellington, Alfred Payton, like that. Apparently, it's going to be a good battle. He has equal chance to get the starting lineup with Dennis Smith. And the Marcus Morris thing, in a 1 year, 15, he got paid. Go to New York. We'll see what happens. He could get a chance to play, but there will be an overload at forward. We'll see how that pans out. But listen, if you're a New York fan, let me talk to you guys. I'm a Nets fan. You guys know that. Pretty practically. Go Brooklyn. We know that. I've rocked with them for a long time. Now, New York, though, I like what they're doing. They fell into a trap, theoretically. They did. I mean, they didn't get the 2 stars, but they're getting all these young pieces. They got to go, and they're getting their veterans. They can build a stability thing. This is one more year to possibly build up, develop your young guys. I love it. New York, they got tricked because they didn't weren't able to get the star guys, but this is perfect. This is what the New York Knicks need, and this is a team I really do like. You're talking about Dennis Smith Jr., R.J. Barrett, Alonzo Trier, Damian Dotson, love that kid. Kevin Knox, you got Julius Randolph in there now. You got Mitchell Robinson, you guys know how I feel about that. Bradley Dinkins is playing at a high level in the summer league. I mean, you got all these guys. Nutella King, we'll see what he does. I don't expect too much, but this is perfect. You have the veterans. David Fizdale's an excellent coach. Love it. New York got an A+ right now, in my opinion. Perfect what they're doing. Now look at this, too. Come trade deadline. Taj Gibson, 2 year deal, player option. That's a 1 year deal. Team option, they can get out. Trade him. Portis, Bullock, Wayne Ellington, Alfred Payton, Marcus Morris, all of them the exact same thing. So come trade deadline, maybe they want to start losing or whatever, tanking. They have so many guys that are going to get assets for the deadline. Perfect. Well done, New York. This is what you got to do. Even though they might not meant to do it, this is perfect stuff that New York City is doing right now. Tell me you're not going to miss it. He just wrapped up the Peace Jam playing for Mac Irvin Fire. He's one of the best shooters in the country. Oh, and he just transferred to Hillcrest in Arizona. You're not going to miss it. What Chianti Clay has to say, it's going to be big time. Stay tuned, everyone. Big time player coming up next. I couldn't be more excited to welcome one of the new recent transfers to Hillcrest and one of the top shooters for both Hillcrest and Mac Irvin Fire, Chianti Clay. How are you doing today?
Good. You?
Pretty good. Let's talk about this. And obviously, you just got back from the Peace Jam, and the AAU season is pretty much wrapped up now. But let's talk about why did you originally decide to go play for Mac Irvin?
Well, it was more of a, get more exposure thing and playing against better competition. So it was more of that type of thing.
Gotcha. So how was the circuit? Like, how did you guys compete? Talk about that a little bit.
Oh, we competed well. I think we had a chance to win it. We just, didn't come with the right mentality. So we was we competed really well. I thought we was going to win it, but, we just came up a little short.
No doubt. So what are some of the best memories from this year's circuit?
Winning the first game at EYBL because I had a real a rush because it was my first game in EYBL, so I was happy to win that first game.
No doubt. So obviously Mac Irvin's got a lot of star power. So let's talk about some of the guys on the team that kind of lead the team and help support you and the rest of the team.
First I'm gonna go Amari Bailey. He's a athlete. He plays hard every possession. Trey White in the 2022 class. Great. He's a great player. A lot of skill. Amon Bonham, one of the best shooters in our class. He's very good. And we got some other pieces on our team to compete.
No doubt. So talk a little bit about what Coach does and how he helps bring you guys together and help win games.
He's so energetic. That's how I love Coach Nick because he's energetic. Like, say if we got a slow start, he always like hype us up to to get going.
Mm-hmm.
Cause and all the other coaches, it's just like a family thing over there.
Mm-hmm.
Energetic, very energetic.
That's awesome. And it's awesome that's important, especially when you're, like you said, I mean, you can't always just come out with tons of energy because there's different times you play at, and I mean, things do get different. So, I mean, being able to have that person that kind of wraps you guys up and allows you guys to go out and play at the best is big time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, what's some things, like, what's one of the biggest and best things you remember from the Peace Jam, and what did you learn from it?
The best things, it was just bonding. It's just bonding, chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
Like like we made it up there. That was the goal since day one. It wasn't necessarily winning the Peace Jam. We just wanted to make it there. So it was like some that was one of the best memories. And learning, you got to come to play every game because no one's like playing up there. No one's
Mm-hmm.
like kidding around. It's straight business. The first day we kind of lacked off, and we got blown out. Like it's serious up there.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. I mean, always that's where all the top players are playing from across the country. So, it's really hard. I
Yeah,
mean, every game is a challenge. There's not really any like light games.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let's talk about your high school career so far. Talk about your freshman, sophomore year before you came out to now Hillcrest in Arizona.
Freshman year, it was really funny because I didn't really play at all my freshman year because it was upperclassmen
Mm-hmm.
above me, all we're like all seniors, so it wasn't like I'll see some play seeing like 10 minutes or like 6 minutes,
Yeah.
something like that. But yeah. So really, my freshman year was like just having fun, just being on the team.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
So my sophomore year, it was more like a playing role. Like I started like about like 15 games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just being that third scorer role, like kind of a Lou Williams type of role.
Yeah.
Yeah, type of role like that.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. I mean, obviously being a freshman, I mean, there's very few guys, if any really, that come in right away and obviously the star guys. So I mean, being able to develop with a good team and all is big time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So what's some of the stuff you learned from being over there?
I learned that because I wasn't really a defensive guy, so I learned a lot about defense over there. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because Washington was a defensive team. It's not really wasn't really an offensive team. It's really a defensive team. So I really had to lock in on defense.
Gotcha. That's awesome. Now talk about your team out there. What are some of the top players that help you lead your team over there?
Uh, Deontay Long. He's like one of the top guys in Wisconsin. Really, had a few obstacles in his way, but he's a really great player.
Mm-hmm.
Really great player.
That's awesome.
Uh, yeah. Michael Foster, one of the top guys in 2021 class, and
Mm-hmm.
very dominant player, and Trey White.
Yeah, no doubt. So originally, when you decided to come out to transfer, what were some of the reasons that you wanted to come out here and come play for in Arizona and Hillcrest?
It wasn't really a short term goal; it's a long term goal. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, I want to get ready, for college or even the pros. So I think that best opportunity is to, go to Hillcrest since they have so many, pros like
Mm-hmm.
DeAndre Ayton and Kyrie, stuff like that.
Yeah, no doubt. So talking about that, was there other schools that you're kind of were considering, like a top three or something, or was it just Hillcrest was kind of the team that reached out and you guys were like, that's where I want to go?
It was really just Washington or Hillcrest. It was just Washington or Hillcrest, really.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So talk about the team now. I mean, obviously Hillcrest has had a big summer in terms of recruiting so many top players and kind of reshaping the team to probably being the number one team in the nation. But how about some of the guys you're excited to play alongside and how the team's looking?
Everybody knows Dan Terry, one of the best passers in 2020 class, one of the best defenders.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, One of those guys that you gotta have on the team. Everybody knows Kyrie Walker, one of the best players in 2020 class, a real athlete, great defender, energetic guy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Keon Edwards, 5-star, one of the best wings in the 2021 class. Michael Foster, one of the best players in the 2021 class. And Dre Harris, a big
Mm-hmm.
man that can do it all. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, they're definitely. I mean, Hillcrest just keeps making moves. I mean, they're gonna be something. It's gonna be fun. And it's gonna be special because, like you said, I mean, they have so many different components. Like so many of the guys fill what you need on a roster. Like Dalen can bring up the ball, obviously he's the best passer, can play defense. I mean, everyone
Yeah,
like fills a role where they perfectly like mesh together.
yeah.
So talking about some of the coaching, are you excited? What's some of the coaching and like you got to be around them that much and all? What are you excited to be coached by them and how do you think they're going to help develop your game?
I talked to Coach Nick. Yeah, one of the coaches on Hillcrest.
Hmm.
I think I learned a lot from him because he dealt with so many pros, and he's trying to get me where I want to go.
Hmm.
So,
No
and the
doubt.
other coaches as well.
Hmm. Absolutely. So what do you think your role will be for your first year at Hillcrest?
Just handling the ball and shooting, making jump shots really, and
Hmm.
defending.
No doubt.
Cause it's a lot of stars on that team. So I'm just gonna play my role and try to contribute to the team.
No doubt. I mean, like you said, I mean, obviously at Hillcrest, it's almost going to be like that freshman feeling again, where it's kind of like you're going in almost as the younger guy just because of how much talent there is. You're going to have your role until you get
Yeah, yeah,
obviously
yeah,
to the older point when, I mean, every year Hillcrest is graduating three, four, five D1 players that are going to probably most like will be D1 players, if not NBA players.
yeah.
So, so what are you looking forward to the most this season?
Winning, just competing, trying to get to Geico,
Hmm.
uh, things like that. Like, yeah, it's just gonna be a movie.
Yeah. Absolutely. And what are your expectations? I mean, I think a lot of people are talking. You guys are probably going to go in as number one. But I mean, obviously, do you think you guys want to win Geico, or is there other goals you guys also have along with that?
Expectations, really just to win Geico.
Hmm.
Really just to get up there and win Geico.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's talk about your offers. What's some of your favorite ones so far?
I don't really have a favorite offer, but I have like emotionally, like
Hmm.
emotional offer is Houston because it was like one of my first offers, and then I worked so hard to get that,
Hmm.
because just get it out the way, like knowing that I can go to school for free,
Hmm.
really.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I think a lot of people don't necessarily always look at it. I mean, when people first start out as a younger, freshman, sophomore year, and they get the first offer, it might be maybe not, obviously, it's not Duke, Kentucky, or whatever, but it's like that impact is huge, especially for that player being able to get, like, because that's, like you said, your education is being paid for, and all you can do really is go up from here.
Yeah.
So, what was it like? I mean, what was it like in your very first offer, and how did it go down?
Well, it was after like the John Lucas camp because
Hmm.
it was in Houston.
Yeah.
So I guess the coach saw a little film of the camp and liked my game, so he offered me. But I didn't even know I had the offer because I was in the airport. My dad
Hmm.
was getting a massage, and my friends just blowing my friend up, talking about, "Oh, he's gonna offer from Houston." I'm like, "What?" My heart dropped, and I just started jumping around and stuff like that. So it was really. I was really glad to have that offer.
That's awesome. So, are there any other colleges that have been talking to you?
Houston, Miami, Wake Forest been talking, UNLV, Colorado, schools like that been like
Hmm.
contacting me.
That's awesome. Is there a dream off you kind of as a kid you've always dreamed of wanting to play for that school?
Uh, not really anymore because you can't like it can't be like a school you want to go to. It's got to be a
Hmm.
school that's recruiting you the hardest. But it's not really a dream school anymore. So
Yeah, no doubt. So you're able to go to the Elite 100 camp. Talk about that and what was your experience there?
Oh, Elite 100, it was a great experience playing against the top guards in our class. So it was a great experience.
Hmm. So how did you do at the camp?
I really surprised myself at the camp. I was like, I didn't like I had like I was being a leader. I was handling the ball, making shots, getting my teammates open. I was really surprised at myself. Like
Hmm.
after that camp, I thought I was one of the top guards in the country.
That's awesome. So is that one of the biggest things you learned, or was something else that one of the coaches did, or something else you learned that you took away from the camp?
Um, it was really. I really learned you gotta take care of your body because like after the first day, everyone was sore. It
Hmm.
was just like you got like ice. Ice is very ice is very important.
Hmm. No doubt. I mean, that's something obviously you take on throughout the rest of your career. I mean, maybe it doesn't necessarily go where you do a camp and scrimmages for 10 hours a day, like some of those camps are, or even play 2 or 3 games, but the games just get harder every step of the way you go up.
Yeah, 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 no doubt.
So what's one thing of your part of your game that you've really worked on this summer?
Just getting stronger, quicker. You can
Mm-hmm.
always get stronger and quicker, and working my athleticism.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. So what's one skill that if you add it, you think it'll take your game to the next level?
My athleticism. I'm trying to like out the gym athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Like coming down the middle, just dunking on cats.
Yeah.
Like
We'll talk about your daily day in terms of workouts. I mean, obviously, it's a lot of work to get into where you are. So what's your usual day look like?
first I go to athlete performance, work on weightlifting. Get the little weights in for about an hour or two,
Mm-hmm.
and get on the gun, the shooting gun. So get some shots up, and then this ball handling skill work. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, 2 to 3 workouts a day.
Gotcha. So what's one part of your game that you really take the most pride in?
Really scoring. I like putting the ball in the basket.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
Yeah.
So who do you model your game around?
It's not really model. It's like I take parts and put it in my game. So really, it's guys like Steph Curry, Trey Young, Jamal Murray, guys like that.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. I mean, that's something, especially like, I mean, a lot of the guys you can obviously tell because people know you as one of the top shooters and all. I mean, especially
Yeah,
something like Jamal Murray, kind of like that guy that you not necessarily think of him as a point guard because mostly is
yeah,
a shooting guard kind of role, but you still have the leadership skills and you still bring the ball up and as a facilitator.
yes, sir.
So when did you first really start playing basketball?
Uh, I really started playing when I was 3, but competitively it was about 5 years old. I mean, not 5 years old. Fifth grade. Fifth
Mm-hmm.
grade.
Gotcha. So who is the best player you've ever played alongside?
Michael Foster, no
Mm-hmm.
doubt.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely someone that when you look at him, I mean, he just has like, because there's a lot of guys when they got top players, especially big men, that maybe you can see the potential, but they aren't necessarily filled out and they don't have the muscle yet. I mean, Mike's
Yeah,
got everything to his game right now, which is scary.
yeah, it's crazy. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. So who's the best player you've ever played against?
I'm gonna have to go with Jalen Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. He's just a pro. You can just see he's a pro. He's a 6'9" point guard. So
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy.
Yeah. What's one of your pregame routines? Like when you're on game day, what's some of the things that you try doing, or you eat, or you stretch, or what's some of the stuff that you really want to do before you play a game?
Really, get a couple shots up and listen to music and get in the game mood. Just think what I
Mm-hmm.
can do to contribute to the win.
Yeah. No doubt. So there's one person in high school. Who would you want to team up with?
Even though he's another point guard, Sharif Cooper, because he makes everybody better. He's a great guard,
Hmm.
and I love to play with him because he can set up his team, making scores. So
Hmm.
it'd be great playing alongside him.
No doubt. I mean, I feel like really Sharif really blown up, especially the last couple of weekends. I mean, he's been playing big time. I mean, a lot of guys in the
Yeah,
AOT team with Devin too has been blowing up.
yeah. He's a great player.
Hmm. So who's someone in college you really want to team up with right now?
Uh, I play with in college. If he's still there, I'll play with Trey Man.
Hmm. Yeah, that'd be
He's
awesome.
a great shooter, great
Hmm.
player.
No doubt. So if there's someone in the NBA, who's someone you've always dreamed of playing alongside?
Um, Steph Curry. Steph Curry. I love playing with Steph Curry. He
Hmm.
knows how to move the ball. He can shoot it. He's a great player.
Oh yeah.
I love playing with Golden State. Playing with Steph Curry.
Yeah, it'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like I mean, Steph Curry's one of those guys. I mean, obviously, like, the person that probably could like get people open the best, everyone usually thinks of, is LeBron. I mean, Curry's definitely
Yeah.
someone that he has a shot that maybe makes up a little bit for the athleticism and the height of LeBron, but he's still like people really don't realize how underrated he is in terms of and how great he is at passing.
Yeah. He's a great passer.
No doubt. So, who would be your favorite NBA team?
I gotta go with the hometown Milwaukee Bucks.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely. So,
They had a
John.
great season. Great season.
Oh yeah, I mean that's definitely. I mean, a lot of people always saw the potential in them, but they finally broke out with Coach Bud and with obviously Giannis and Lopez and all those guys playing on a high level.
Yeah, they're playing at a great level. Just
Hmm.
came up a little short.
No doubt. So, talking a little bit more about the Bucks then. So, what's your thoughts on the offseason process they've had so far?
It's not. They haven't had the best off season, but
Mm-hmm.
I see they're trying to like get the brothers. They got Giannis, his brothers teaming up, and you got Robin and Brooke.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess they're trying to make something happen over there. So I'm
Yeah.
not gonna, I'm not gonna, doubt them what they're doing, but I'll see what they're gonna do.
Yeah. I mean, at first, I mean, all was looking really well. I mean, obviously, retained Bledsoe on the end of the season last year, and then, Giannis can get his extension next year. But then they brought back Middleton and Lopez, and then they got Hill back. But it's like, I still can't believe that if they're going to pay that much money already, that they wouldn't just retain Brogdon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I wish they would have kept Brogdon. Would have kept Brogdon.
I know. I mean, he's big time, especially with what he does on the court.
Yeah.
So who do you say would be a favorite NBA player?
Trae Young.
No doubt. Let's talk about more about free agency. What's some of the biggest surprises so far that you've seen?
Um, the Clippers, Paul George and Kawhi to the Clippers, and Kevin Durant to Brooklyn, and
hmm
D'Lo to the Warriors. That's crazy.
Oh
I
yeah.
was like, when it hit my phone, I was like, wow,
Uh
wow. It's just
huh.
wow.
I know. I mean, especially when you look. I mean, you kind of heard the rumors about Kyrie and KD maybe looking into Brooklyn, and then Kawhi. Obviously, we knew it was between LA and Toronto. But I
Yeah,
mean, when you saw the, I mean, Kawhi wasn't surprising until you saw the Paul George post, which was just. I mean, that I don't think anyone could have
yeah.
called that. I
Paul,
mean,
I wasn't expecting Paul George to go to the
hmm
Clippers.
I mean, that's what I thought.
It
He was
was crazy.
happy. And then
Yeah,
obviously D'Lo. I mean, we knew he was probably gonna be on the way out, but not to Golden State.
yeah.
So let's talk about the draft class a little bit. Who do you think is gonna end up being the top five players from this year's draft class?
For sure, Zion Williamson.
hmm
Number two, I'm gonna have to go um, Cam Reddish. Number three, Tyler Hero. Number four, Kobe White. Number five, Darius Garland.
hmm Yeah. I mean, obviously we know what Zion can bring, and then Kobe White. I mean, a lot of people saw like he obviously killed it in North Carolina. I don't think he should have got a lot more attention than he did, but I mean, he obviously played at a big time level this summer league.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tyler Hero, he's
hmm
waking everybody up.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And then so let's talk a little bit more about this then. So what was some of the biggest surprises or biggest guy that slid down in the draft?
Well, Bobo, that was
Yeah.
crazy. Bobo was crazy. That was crazy. Second round. He's not a second round top talent. He's a first round top talent.
hmm I
But
mean,
you gotta stay healthy. You gotta stay healthy.
I mean, even if he has to miss a year, he's seriously hurt. I mean, at least pick him up in the beginning of the second round or like late first round. I mean, if he turns out and he's healthy or even somewhat healthy, 7'3" and can shoot and dribble.
Yeah.
I mean, that was definitely shocking. So let's talk a little bit more about your family and also who's someone that's really helped you out the most in your life.
My mom and dad, because they sacrificed so much to keep me happy.
hmm
They're like helping me, get to my workouts and um flying me out to camps and stuff like that. Is just I thank them a lot for what they sacrificed.
No doubt. So who would you say is the person that you really think is your role model?
Um, Steph Curry, because he shoot I like to shoot crazy shots, deep threes, and he's the reason why people allow a deep three. So it's like
Oh yeah.
it's really Steph Curry because he helps my game a lot.
No doubt. I mean, he definitely changed. I mean, maybe people don't think of him obviously as maybe not the GOAT or anything, or even necessarily the best player of the last decade. But I mean, he's truly been one of the very few players ever been able to truly make a
Yeah,
new era of basketball.
for sure.
So the final thing I would like to talk about then is how has God helped you the most throughout your career?
He blessed me enough to play the game that I love, so that's really a blessing because a lot of people like their body's not stable enough to play basketball or play any type of sport. So God
hmm
bless me.
No doubt. Well, it's been great chopping it up with you, and I can't wait to see what you do when you get out here at Hillcrest. Best of luck.
All right, thank you, thank you, thank you.
No problem. God bless.
All right, God bless.
So we just broke down the Eastern Conference. So what's going on in the West? Stay tuned. Coming up right after this, folks. Now heading out west. Oh my goodness, folks. I mean, this is crazy. The West is crazy, and Golden State's different. People keep saying no timeout. People that keep saying Golden State is not going to be in the playoffs. Just stop. Just stop. I mean, come on. There's Steph Curry. Is he not good? D'Angelo Russell just led a team to the playoffs. I understand I was in the East, but still, he led a team to the playoffs. Won a game. He's on that roster. I see Draymond Green right there. Yep, he's on the roster. I mean, you got talent. This team's making the playoffs. I'm sorry about that. Stop making the media attention. Just stop. Golden State's in the playoffs unless Curry goes down or something. Just they're good. But this is a new look team. Are they the favorites to win? No. Are they even maybe a top four seed? No. I mean, you look at this now. I like it. I really do like it. I really do. I mean, the move, the Spellman for Damian Jones, it fits him. I like Damian Jones, but they got Willie Cauley-Stein, which is an upgrade over him. But they get a shooter in Spellman. You can see what he does. I mean, I'm all on the Alan Smologic. I mean, I love what Smalaguch. He's doing amazing out there for Golden State. Love what he's doing. Jordan Poole played big time. Eric Pascal, he's all right. I mean, you got some moves going on. And the Julian Washburn, they get that good two-way player if they really want to keep him. I like him. He could contribute at times. A lot of picks Memphis gets though for the $80 trade. Livingston's gone. I mean, we will see what goes down now. Obviously, Alec Burks, Oklahoma, well done. He even gave them big credits and props for the way they handled it. He's coming over here when he originally signed with Golden State or with Oklahoma. Will Stein's officially over here in Golden State now. Glenn Robinson, Kevon Looney's back. Love that. Obviously, D'Lo and Klay Thompson. Now, Jordan Bell's out of Minnesota. Not a good loss there. I really do like Bell, but I'm excited for what he's going to do out there. Obviously, Boogie's gone. Quinn Cook is gone. Iguodala is gone. Damian Jones is gone. I mean, it is what it is. It's a new look. We'll see. This is going to test Steve Kerr. Love it. Denver hasn't really signed anyone yet. They got Bobo obviously in the draft, but I mean they lost Tyler Lydon. That was expected. They didn't really never panned out with what they got with him. Trey Lyles on the move to San Antonio. Also, Trey Lydon, of course, is on the move to Sacramento. And Isaiah Thomas, we talked about that, is out to Washington. Now, you look at this now. Portland Trailblazers, love it. They keep adding depth. Obviously, Tolliver's there. Hezonja, I like that. Rodney Hood. You lose Jake Layman in the sign and trade deal to Minnesota as well. Evan Turner's gone. I mean, they lost stuff, yes. They lost Seth Curry, Harkless Amino. Evan Turner contributed, Cantor contributed, but he replaced that with Hassan Whiteside's in there now. Zach Collins now gets a spot to go start at power forward. Love that ability for him. I think he's a starter. You got Nasir Little looking solid. He's going to be in that roster and rotation. Bazemore, you got traded for him. I just like what they're doing. I really did. They got the rights for Bojan Dublovic from Minnesota for Jake Layman signed trade deal. Terry Stotts got his work cut out for him, but I think he's the man for the job. Now, oh boy. This is one of the two teams I'm going to mainly hit up on. Houston Rockets. We know what went down out there. They now have a guy named Russell Westbrook. Yeah, he's not traveling too far, but he is traveling. Russell Westbrook, the guy that, well, obviously at least Steph Curry, the 10 years there on the Golden State Warriors, longest tenured player to be drafted by a team. Great props to him. Hopefully never leaves. But Russell Westbrook, he's on the move to Houston, obviously reuniting with James Harden for a ton of picks. Really a lot of picks. Oklahoma stockpiled those. We'll get into that in a minute. Now, they brought back Joe Green, Daniel House, Austin Rivers. They signed Anthony Bennett. It's not guaranteed. We'll see what goes down there. Tyson Chandler, a one-year deal. Lost Chris Paul. So, my opinion is, yes, it is a new thing. Obviously, that team with Chris Paul and Harden was not going to win a championship. They capped out. That was a one-year window. They blew it. Westbrook reopens it. It's a new mystery. Will they win? Maybe not, but it's that emotion. It's that maybe we can win. The ceiling's open. We'll see where that ceiling is. Then you felt this roster. They got a lot of stuff. A lot of openings. Isaiah Harden is not officially guaranteed. You got Deonta Davis. We'll see what he does. I mean, there's going to be a lot of moves. Houston's not even close to finishing this out. I don't know if they're going to be trading some guys still, signing. They got stuff to be done. Utah Jazz, you guys know I'm big fans of this. William Howard coming over from overseas. They signed him. Nigel Williams-Goss, he's coming over to a 3-year minimum deal. He was overseas for a couple of years now. He will be out here. Emmanuel Mudiay, love that. They call it a developmental project, but I think he just scored 14 points a game. Chance to go to the playoff and see what he can do. See where he can find a role in the NBA. But Mudiay is going to be in the league for a little while still. I mean, you got Udo and Tyler Kavanaugh. Tyler Kavanaugh is going to Germany. Udo's going to China. He's going back overseas. He's a good shot block. Ron Neto, we talked about that, going out to Philly. Derek Favors will trade out to New Orleans. Rubio's gone. Grayson Allen will trade to Memphis along with Korver and Jay Crowder. Interesting moves. Love it, though. Utah's got big-time stuff keep coming on. They need to keep doing this. I mean, this is truly something special. Love what they're doing out here. Utah, I think, is a sleeper to possibly win the Western Conference. You can't doubt that. Now, Oklahoma, they're the ones that just got Chris Paul. Now, they're not adverse to keeping CP3 reportedly, but he's going to be on the move. I mean, he just doesn't fit. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is a starter out there, and I love it. Love what they got from the Paul George trade in terms of that. They got loaded with assets, but I just love SGA. You guys know that. I think he's a star, but him and Chris Paul will not play well together. So Chris Paul will be on the move. Whether that be Miami, whether that be wherever it is. Now, Miami's not aggressive on CP3, as I said earlier, but we'll see what happens. CP3, someone that I really would have liked Phoenix to do if they didn't get Rubio. Love Rubio, perfect. Not much better. I don't know how much of an upgrade, if any, Chris Paul would be over Rubio in terms of what that is. Chris Paul is obviously a greater player all time. Chris Paul is probably better right now in terms of just one-on-one who's winning the game. I'm taking Chris Paul. But point is, Phoenix doesn't need the money, really. I mean, they're not going to pull anyone else. This is the way to get a potential star player. But obviously got Rubio, good for that. Also Orlando, you could be seeing a team potentially go, but Chris Paul is not on the team. Now, Oklahoma did want in the Kawhi Leonard trade that came out later was they wanted Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, and 4 unprotected first-round picks from Paul George and Russell Westbrook. Toronto did not want to do that, so interestingly, that's what it is. I don't know. That's why I don't know if Toronto's going to rebuild what stage they're at because Westbrook is obviously an upgrade over Lowry. Don't even debate that. And Paul George is also an upgrade over Siakam. Now, is they're younger? Yes. The picks part? Yes. But point is, that's what it is. So, Oklahoma, they're going to make some moves. They're not even close to being done now. Obviously, Jeremy Grant, they shipped out just for a first-round pick. I like Jeremy Grant, but Denver got a treasure there. Just shipped off money right there at Oklahoma. They got Noel. Muscala still is a big-time part of that. He still wants to be a part of that. Billy Donovan, this is a more team I like to see him go with. Obviously, Alex Burks is gone now. Roberson wouldn't be surprised to see him on the move. Obviously, Chris Paul just talked about that. Schroeder could be on the move. I also think he's a good six man, but contending team might take him. I don't know what kind of deal he'll be getting next summer though as a free agent. We'll see. I mean, they got Gallinari could be on the move, but they might need him just for salary. Steven Adams. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. We'll see what they do. But Oklahoma's going on the right path. Now, San Antonio Spurs. Interesting stuff won't happen with them. Not many things happen like what did happen with them. With the whole Marcus Morris thing, interesting. But they lost Davis Bertans in the trade to Washington to free up space now to get DeMar Carroll. They reworked that deal to a 3-year 21 as opposed to the original 2-year 13. But instead of Marcus Morris, they quickly just dropped that, let him go to New York. They don't want to handle all the paperwork, whatnot. They got Trey Lyles a 2-year, $11 million deal. I like it. He's a good young player that fell out of the rotation of Denver because it's just so stacked. Didn't really fit in right, but I love it. Absolutely love it. San Antonio, though, they have to make moves. They're stacked at guard and forward. Like, it's got to happen. I think DeRozan's got to be on the move. There's no way around that. You got Rudy Gay and DeMar Carroll, both as veterans now. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what goes down. I'm not sure, though. I really do not know. I mean, you got so many young players, but I say DeRozan's going to be out. Lucas Simonic's looking like a stud. I told you guys, Lonnie Walker, he's a star. He is something to watch out for. Look at that in Summer League. Pretty crazy, 30 points a game. Derek White, we know he's legit. DeJounte Murray, watch out. Breen Forbes and Patty Mills, I think, would be a good backup. But then Keldon Johnson shows up. You got Bellinelli. Quindary Weatherspoon, he's going to be good. Good picks. Two-way player this year, though. I mean, Chimenzi Metu. I mean, it's moves right now. San Antonio's got a lot of stuff. But San Antonio doesn't really like doing trades, doesn't like doing moves, but I expect them to be involved. Now, LA Clippers, this is the funny story we learned about now. Originally, Kawhi Leonard tried recruiting Kevin Durant. That didn't go down because he wanted to go to Brooklyn, obviously. They needed Kyrie, which Kyrie was already teaming up with KD. So then he obviously went Paul George, and as Paul George said, for a quiet man, he's very good at recruiting. It is what it is, but Clippers love it. Obviously, they're a star-looking team. This is the thing I think might separate them from LA. We'll talk about that in a little bit. They have youth, they have energy, and they have coaching. Big-time things. Brought back JaMychal Green to 2-year, $10 million. Ivica Zubac, 4-year, $28 million. Like that deal, obviously, we know Kawhi got 4-year, $141 million, the max deal there. I mean, they waived Tyrone Wallace. He went to Minnesota. Gallinari and Shea were traded out in the Paul George trade. I like what they're doing, though. I really do. They got a bench. They got young assets. I love Mo Harkless. They want Andre Iguodala, but they don't want to trade Mo Harkless because they really do like him, and I think they should as well. Sacramento Kings, they keep making moves. Obviously, we know Rashawn Holmes is the backup center now, too. They got Tyler Lydon. He's a project. Keep him on this, see what he can do. 2-year minimum deal. Why not? Willie Cauley-Stein's going to Golden State. We know Alex Burks left to Golden State as well. But we just got to look at this. I mean, Sacramento's got two guys that could see potentially being all-stars, and Fox and Bagley. Harrison Barnes is looking good. Buddy Hield, too, as well, I mean, on all honesty. I'm not sure how this team's going to work, though. If Marvin's going to start at the center, or they're going to go with the center. I mean, they got Dedmon, Giles, and Rashawn Holmes, all legit players. Holmes will obviously be a backup no matter what. But Dedmon could be a backup starter. I don't know. He can stretch the floor. I like that part about him, but Giles is the young guy. Haven't made too many trades, but I like what Luke Walton's going to get going out there. LA Lakers. Well, LeBron James will be running point guard alongside Danny Green, folks. That's going to be interesting. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I mean, hasn't LeBron pretty much always brought the ball? I mean, it's positionless basketball. It's not that big of a deal. I think we're making a little too big of a deal. But he's running point guard. It's interesting to just put him on the court. But they brought back a lot. I mean, Troy Daniels, we knew that, and Jared Dudley. Then you got Danny Green. After, of course, you already got Anthony Davis and got LeBron there already, obviously. Contavious Caldwell-Pope, they bring him back. I like that. Quentin Cook, love that. 2-year, $6 million, great deal, bargain deal there. JaVale McGee, even bigger bargain, 2-year, $8.2 million, $4.1 million basically per year on average. Rajon Rondo's back on a 2-year minimum contract. That's huge. Boogie Cousins, 1-year, $3.5. Caruso, he's back, 2-year, $5.5. And one of the biggest ones that I don't think we're talking enough about is Avery Bradley. Remember, he was just starting alongside Isaiah Thomas and a very, very good Boston Celtics team. One of the best defensive players we were just talking about. He's had injuries the last couple of years. He can stay healthy. 2-year, $9.7 million deal. Bargain. He could be a backup starter. Whatever you need to put him in. He's almost like Danny Green, just extended. Just not as good as a shooter. Love it. They lost Hassan Chandler to Houston. We talked about that. But Locke's gone. Muscala's gone. I mean, they've got a whole new roster. Nothing's really like here. I mean, I like Quinn Cook possibly starting if they're going to start him at point guard / LeBron point guard. You know what I mean, though. But he's one of the 5 guys on the court, I should say. I mean, and then you obviously have Rondo and Boogie potentially come off the bench and roll. I mean, you could have McGee starting. You could have Anthony Davis at the center. I mean, Lakers have a lot of stuff. It's going to be interesting to see how they put it together. Roster's pretty much complete after signing Taylor Horton Tucker. I like it. I like it a lot, folks. Obviously, you got the little drama. Who's running? Who Dudley just likes having fun. Claimed to have number 6 originally. Obviously, yeah. Number 2. Well, he decided to gift that to Quinn Cook. Funny. I mean, it's just fun to get out there in LA. I think it's going to be a fun season for them. That's all I can say there. Minnesota, Tyron Wallace, they claimed him off waivers from Clippers. I really like the game. He's a good player. I think he's going to get a bigger chance to play out here. Jordan Bell, they got him. Jordan Bell said he wanted to go here because Ryan Saunders said the way he's going to use him and utilize him is the dream way he wants to be utilized. Sign trade for Jake Layman, and obviously really under the radar move is Noah Vonleh for a 1-year, $2 million deal. Big time signing. He was a big time double machine out in New York last year when he got the chance to play. Tyus Jones, he's gone. He went out to Memphis, which means I think they're either going to be really looking at Tyrone Wallace. I don't know if that's the case, or they're going to keep Shabazz Napier. Obviously, Napier and Graham from the Golden State Warriors trade. They got a couple of different picks, whatever assets, but just look at it. I mean, they could probably be saying I think Napier will be the backup point guard. I like that, moving one more spot up. He can definitely do that. Obviously, now you lose. I mean, just lose quite a few people. Anthony Tolliver, Taj Gibson, Derrick Rose, Dario Saric trade. But I think it's going to be interesting to see. I think they're going to be making moves. Towns and Booker have said they both could be considerably on the move. I wouldn't be surprised at all. If you look at Wiggins, will probably be on the move. Jarrett Culver, I mean, he's going to be someone you got to watch out for. They were really high on him. Wiggins had high praise from Coach Ryan Saunders about working out. He's going to unlock the game that he's really been waiting for. Keita Bates-Diop looked good in the summer league. Jake Layman, we know what he can do. Interesting moves here. Jeff T. I don't know how much longer he'll be a member of Minnesota, but they also don't have a young point guard. I mean, I don't know who they'd be starting there. Looking a lot new from Minnesota. Now as for Memphis, I mean, they got Tyus Jones, who's 3 24, perfect signing to back up John Morant, followed by D'Anthony Melton on the third string. I mean, they just have a lot of moves. I mean, you're looking at all this trades. They've made how many moves? I mean, they made the Jay Crowder one. They made the Mike Conley one, obviously. They did some draft pick trading. They did the Iguodala trade. They've done they've done the Josh Jackson trade. They've done the Solomon Hill, Mason, and Miles Plumlee trade. They've done the Phoenix trade. I mean, obviously Phoenix one day. You got the Dwight Howard trade. You've got the DeLon Wright signing trade. I mean, they're just making moves left and right. I don't like the loss of DeLon Wright. I love it for Dallas. We'll talk about that in a minute, though. I mean, they've lost Avery Bradley. They waived him. DeLon Wright to Dallas. C.J. Miles to Washington. Carter, Parsons, Conley all moved via trade. But I like what they're doing. I mean, you're really trying to see what they got. The point guard's pretty much filled out. I mean, I really just like the way this whole rush is organized. Iguodala will be still on the move. I mean, they're stacked at forward. When you're telling me you got Jay Crowder, you got Andre Iguodala, you got Brandon Clark, Jaren Jackson Jr., Yvonne Rabb, Miles Plumlee, Valanciunas, Kyle Anderson, Bruno Caboclo, Dylan Brooks, Josh Jackson, Solomon Hill, Grayson Allen. I mean, you got guards forward. You're stacked. They're going to have to figure out how to utilize that. Guys will be on the move, signing, waiving. We'll see what goes down. Trading, I mean, it's going to be crazy. I like what Memphis is doing out there. But they do not plan to keep D12. Obviously, they waived him via that trade. But D12 does claim he's changed. He said he's matured. He said he's a changed person. We'll see how true that is. But I think he should get a chance maybe. If you really want to take it, why not? He could have value. I mean, he still was a monster the last time he played with Charlotte. Not that big of a risk. Now, New Orleans, they just keep making solid moves. Darius Miller bringing him back to a 2-year, $14.25 million. Favors via trade. I mean, it's going to be interesting. I really do like what they're doing out here, though. Obviously, the young guys are stars. I mean, they waived Darius Bertans. He's going out to Russia. Stanley Johnson out to Toronto now. But you're stacked. I mean, when you look at the guards, Lonzo Ball, we know what that man can do. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is one of the best players in all of Summer League. You got Frank Jackson killing it. You got Drew Holiday, each one more, Josh Hart, J.J. Redick. I mean, they got so many guys. I think moves will be made. They got a lot of stuff, but it's looking really nice. I like what they're doing out in New Orleans. Jackson Hayes, that dunk, I mean, that's play of the Summer League, not even debatable. Now, Dallas Mavericks, I talk about that. They have DeLon Wright starting point guard, love it. You got him, Luka, Porzingis, a really solid big three kind of way. Tim Hardaway, I think, will stay at the shooting guard. Brunson backing him up. Barrera when he's healthy. Seth Curry, huge signing. I love the guy. He said he's back home. I mean, there's no Photoshop necessary. I like it. He never really had a chance because he was hurt, but I love the signing there. Boban, he's going to be a good backup now. Dorian Finney-Smith brought him back. Seth Curry brought him back. Maxi Kleber, 4-year, $35 million deal, brought him back. Brea back. Delon Wright signed trade. I love it. Haven't lost too many guys. I added Isaiah Roby via draft. It's added some real good players. I like what Dallas is doing, obviously. They really are rolling. Now, Phoenix. Look at this. It's solid. It really is. I mean, the Josh Jackson trade was pathetic, but Oubre brought him back. But you know what that means, folks? Oubre will be on the move. He's not staying in Phoenix. Whole 2 years. There's no way. They have so many forwards. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry to break it to you guys. I wish he would, but he's not. He just is not moving. He's going to be on the move, folks. Unless they want to move Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson. I don't know, but we will see. But that's really what Phoenix has got going on. I mean, Jimmer Fredette's going off to China. It's going to be interesting. Phoenix has got a squad. It's going to be interesting what Monty Williams can do with it. But, folks, that's what I got to say for the Western Conference. It's going down out there. It's crazy. Free agency just keeps rolling, though. Trade's going to keep picking up. It's going to be crazy. As of today, Chris Paul is on the Thunder. Well, that's how we're going to oppose this. We're going to talk about the playoffs, who I think will win next year, and the power rankings as of right now. As of everyone is on the roster right now. So, stay tuned. You're not going to miss it. Coming up right after this. Alright, so now let's break this down. I want to talk about this. We got to get into the Eastern Conference, Western Conference, talk about the power rankings and how I break down right now and how the playoffs, I think, would turn out if it started today. Free agents remain free agents. Everyone is on the roster. That means Chris Paul is a member of Oklahoma. That's what's going to happen there. Obviously, all these guys are on the roster right now. No signing, waiving, whatever it may be. So right now, Eastern Conference, they got number 1, Philadelphia 76ers. They added defense, and now Horford. I love Josh Richardson. They got rid of another scoring guy like Jimmy Butler, but they added just players that know how to play that basketball. I like the moves. Love it. They got the bench back. Love it. Boston, take the number 2. I'm not as big a fan of losing Kyrie. I think they got a little bit worse, but I think so did Milwaukee. So they move up. I mean, Kemba Walker's going to be a star. I think he's going to be a superstar in this offense. I think Hayward's going to get a little bit more healthy. Tatum's going to take a big jump, hopefully. Still not the number 1 option. That might be a little risky there. We'll see. I do love the Enes Kanter signing. You guys know that. I think they'll be the number 2 seed. Then Milwaukee, because they lost Brogdon. I keep talking about this. This was a unit, a team. They needed everybody involved. So he's out. I'm dropping him to 3. Brooklyn Nets number 4. No KD, I don't care. They got Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving still got Boston to a 4 seed last year. Is what it is, folks. Kyrie Irving's Kyrie Irving. He's going to be a good player. And I think he's bought in this year. Plus, you're going to add a whole bunch of guys that just know how to play basketball and go to the playoffs by themselves through a whole year. Plus, you got DeAndre Jordan. You got Wilson Chandler. You got Garrett Temple. You got David Nwaba. I love it. Indiana number 5. They could drop more. But when you look at this, I say they're better than Toronto, Miami, Chicago, Orlando, all of them. If you look at this, I mean, Indiana, I guess they're not having Oladipo, but I think Brogdon is a very, very, very good player. I just love Sabonis and Turner down low. T.J. Warren at the small forward is going to be, he's a scoring guy. He's going to possibly get 18 to 20 points, almost like a Harrison Barnes kind of player. And of course, I'd like to Lamb and Brogdon for now until Oladipo gets back, and he's just going to win games. He's going to be another, I don't know if he's going to be Oladipo right away, but he will be a contributor to that roster. No questions asked. Toronto Raptors, number 6 seed. They dropped a lot, yeah, because they don't have Kawhi Leonard. Now, could they very well be out of the playoffs? Yes. But right now, I'm saying they got Kyle Lowry. He's a championship point guard. Marc Gasol, same thing. He's still a legit player. You still got Pascal Siakam. He's going to take a huge jump next year, even bigger than this year, because now he's going to be the go-to guy. OG Anunoby, you guys forgot about him. He's going to be able to show up there. You just got a lot of guys that know how to play basketball on that roster. Miami Heat, they have Jimmy Butler. That's an all-star. They can get in there. And also, right now, they have Goran Dragic. Bam Adebayo's taking a big step. We see what Tyler Hero's doing out there. Winslow's good. Deion Waiters is a good player. We know what's going down out there. Chicago Bulls is the 8th seed. They get in. They get into the playoffs, I think. I mean, you look at this right now. I love Kobe White. You also got Chris Dunn backing up theoretically right now. Archie Diakono, I like it. And Thomas Satoransky, a big-time player. I love him as a backup. And she will eventually be the backup, obviously. But you got Levine, over 20 points per game guy. Otto Porter, a great defensive 3-and-D kind of player. We know Markin, what he can do. He's going to take a big jump. I promise you that. Wendell Carter is going to go to work. I mean, I like it. They got bench. They got reserve. Chandler Hutchinson. You got guys. They got a lot of guys. I like it. Replacing Orlando Magic in the playoffs just because the roster does not work together right now. They need to make moves. Surprisingly, if they trade away a starter and the backup center, that's one of the best prospects. They get better. Confusing, yes, but because I want them to get Dragic or something. I don't see it. I don't see how they beat a young team with now veterans in Chicago. Oh, and they got Chicago. Don't forget they got Thad Young coming off the bench as well. I just don't see it. I don't see it. It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be very tight. Atlanta has a tendency they could sneak into the playoffs as well. Just not sure they have all the guys that are really there to do it. You know what I mean? I just don't know if they're all ready to play. It's going to be a lot of seeing who can fit in where, a lot of young guys being thrown under. We'll see what happens. I like it, though. They have a very good chance of making it. Don't get me wrong. Detroit Pistons fall out to the 11th seed. They don't have a small forward that can trust Snell, Glenn Robinson. I mean, not Glenn Robinson. I mean, Gaspi. You got Saked Doumbia. I mean, you got a lot of stuff. I just don't know. I just don't know about them. We'll see. Obviously, Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond's good, and Reggie Jackson, Kennard's a big time player. The bench is not necessarily there. You got DeRozan. Not sure how healthy he'll be, how he transitions to that offense. We'll see. New York Knicks, 12 seed. Yeah, they moved up from 15 or 12 because they got all these veterans. I love what they're doing out there. You guys know that. I really do like what New York's at. They're that 12 seed. Cleveland's at 13 because of the fact they do have Kevin Love. Y'all might forgot about that. They also have Tristan Thompson, a finals player. Yeah, I like him. Colin Sexton's going to take another good jump. He's a good, great player. Added other good young players. You got Larry Nance. You got probably one of the best backup point guards in the NBA. I mean, you got C.D. Osman, an over 10 point per game kind of guy, and can play great defense. I like what Cleveland's got. Washington, the 14th seed. Yeah, they have an all-star in Bradley Beal. This is a debatable one. But that's it. I mean, they're starting. You can kind of see what they're doing now. Almost there. It depends what Isaiah Thomas does. I just am basing it off of Isaiah Thomas from last year because that's what we do know. I hope and I think he's going to do that, but we don't know what he's going to do, if you know what I mean. Rui Hachimura is looking great. I'm just not sure what the team officially will look like come day one, but I think they have a chance to definitely move up a little bit or even fall on the 15th, potentially. I doubt it, but 15th if they move Bradley Beal, but we'll see. Charlotte Hornets, yeah, they're last. I'm sorry, Terry Rozier could go off. A lot of these guys will take big young steps, but they're not going to be at that level because they don't really have a Bradley Beal on the roster. That's the Eastern Conference. Now, let's go out west. He's getting interesting. Number one, I have the LA Clippers. Not the Lakers, I'm sorry. I don't care what you guys want to say. They're Clippers. They're not the Lakers. Yeah, I'm sorry. Let me tell you why. One is youth. Lakers have Kyle Kuzma, yes, but he's not even that young. Taylor Horton Tucker, once again, not that young. Clippers are loaded with young guys. Loaded. You got Landry Shamet still, which he's a stud. We know that he can shoot. He's perfect for that team. You got Montrezl Harrell. He can ball. Jerome Robinson. He can ball. I mean, the list goes down. You get Zubac. You got a lot of young players that can get up and run, which are very important come playoff time, even come during the regular season, you know? It's going to be very interesting to see what goes down there. Also, they have a good coach. I think this is going to be a mess for LA. Not just the season. No, don't get me wrong. It's going to work out. They're going to be fine. They'll be in the playoffs, and you'll see where I think they're going to go in the playoffs. But the coaching thing is going to be a mess. Frank Vogel kid is not going to go well, folks. It's just not. Kid's the head coach. So what do you guys want to say? Jason Kidd's the top coach, best coach? Yeah. Vogel, no. It's going to be interesting. He's not the best coach. Clippers, in the fact, have Doc Rivers, a top 5 coach, not even debatable. It's amazing what they got. Now, Lakers are second. Yes. I mean, they got LeBron, Anthony Davis. Thank you very much. Danny Green. They got bench depth. They're stacked. The loaded bench, which I love more than just signing Kawhi. I think what they have right now is a stronger team than just adding Kawhi. It is. That's the same thing with Clippers, that they do have Lou Williams and Montrezl off the bench, which is huge. But I was going to say bench as well for Clippers, but the Lakers just got the bench too. Utah Jazz is third. They could have a chance to be 2-1. You never know how the regular season pans out. But Utah, I mean, when you look at it, you've got Donovan Mitchell with a guy named Mike Conley, kind of good. You got Boyan, you got Joe Ingles, and of course you got Rudy Gobert. You're stacked. Now, do they have the best bench? No. They could work on that a little bit more, but we will definitely see. I like them there. The Quinn Snyder, great coach. Perfect there. Now, Denver number 4, they could very well be a top 3, one, 2, 3 as well, or 4. I mean, everyone in this West is crazy. I'll talk about this in a minute though. But Denver, it's great seeing what's going on there. They got a bench that's stacked. Jeremy Grant is a huge addition. Could even start with Millsap. We'll see. Denver is an amazing team. I think Jokic will take another jump, which is going to be crazy and scary to see. Same thing with Jamal Murray. That's what's going down out there. Look at Portland. Yeah, something special out there. Damian, they got the bench. I think they're even better, but somehow they slide down in terms of where they're ranked. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. This roster might still change a little bit. Other rosters might change as well. We'll see, but it's just hard. All these teams are so good. Then you see Golden State at 6 with Steph Curry, D'Angelo Russell, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson to come back at the All-Star break. It is what it is, because are they better than Portland? I mean, yes, Curry's better than Damian, don't get me wrong, but is the rest of the roster really? D'Lo, CJ McCollum are pretty even, if you ask me. Pretty even, right? Draymond Green's not really comparable on the other side. I'd say Portland's better. They got the bench. Golden State lost pretty much all the bench. Now 17. Now prior to the Westbrook deal and all that stuff, I had Houston at the 9th seed, but with Westbrook, I put them the 7th seed. Y'all can say it's not going to work out. It's Russell Westbrook, James Harden. They figure out the NBA players. Sorry. Now that's all I'm going to say. Yeah. End this discussion there. 8th seed San Antonio, they're going to get in. I'm sorry. You got DeRozan and Aldridge still there, and you got a guy named Coach Pop. He's probably a good coach. Yeah, he is a great coach. He's the best coach in the NBA. So he's the 8th seed. You got all this young talent coming back. You got them developing. They're set. They're at the 8th seed. Even though I would have said Sacramento could have been there, but Sacramento is the 9th seed. They're going to be able. They could slide in very well. I mean, when you're looking at adding guys like Ariza and Dedmon, all these great veterans. I love it. Corey Joseph's huge as well. Don't even forget that. Rashawn Holmes. I love what they're doing. They have a very good chance. They might even be in the playoffs. They could honestly even take out Rockets. I don't know. This is so close in the West. This is what I got right now. Can't wait to see the way these rosters continue to fluctuate and finish out. Now, the 10th seed, I got Pelicans. Now, originally I was going to say, nah, they can't. But look at this. I don't even care what you want to say about this. Let's say all these young guys are horrible. Ingram doesn't come back himself. Lonzo's hurt all year. Zion sucks. Jackson Hayes sucks. Nickeil Alexander-Walker sucks. All these guys, let's say they suck. Let's say it. They're not going to, but you got Drew Holiday. He's a very, very good player, right? Yeah. Derek Favors, he's a very good player. You've got a lot of the JJ Redick is a fabulous player. You got a lot of these good players. Now, then you add in the young guys. All those guys just said Lonzo's going to be good. He's taking a big jump. You got Frank Jackson's balling. Nickeil Alexander-Walker's balling. Zion is, we know what that man can do. Jackson Hayes is killing it. Another one of those great Texas products. Shout out to Shocker Smart. That man is killing it out there, developing these centers. Perfect modern day center developer. New Orleans is stacked. They're going to be the 10th seed. They won't be able to make the playoffs. Maybe they can. You don't know. They could very well be in there. Just slow down. I'm just not going to put them up there because I don't know what Zion's level is right now. That's all I can say there. Now, 11th seed, Phoenix Suns. Yeah, they're going to take a jump. They will, 15 to 11, not bad. If this works out, I don't see how you don't do this. If you're at least hitting 30 wins if you're Phoenix. Monty Williams, you get a good coach in there. You get your point guard. You have Rubio, Booker, you got Oubre, you've got Dario, and you got DeAndre. That could honestly be a playoff team if it is well and they all develop and play together well. I just don't know if Booker's the kind of guy that can get a team to play together. It's a test. We'll see. They also have a good bench as well. I like that. Now, 12th seed, Mavericks. You guys are hyping it up a little too much. I love what they're doing. Porzingis and Luka will be special. But do we know Porzingis is coming back to what level now? I don't know. Will Luka continue to take another jump? I don't know. Is the bench all there? I don't know. There's a lot of young pieces we just don't know yet. We just don't know. This is where I'm putting them right now, though, because it's not anything solidified. Yes, Delon Wright's a stud, but we'll see. 13, Minnesota Timberwolves. Honestly, it has potential at number 10. I really do think they could be there. Cat is going to be a star player. I think Wiggins is taking a huge jump. I'm going to keep hyping this up over and over again. He will be over 20 point per game scorer this year. I guarantee you. I think he's finally fed up with seeing all this blasting and just... First of all, that's just ridiculous. Just shut up, people. Like, really? What does he do? Why does he get so much blasting and non-stop? Like, everything you want to stand for. The man was watching guys that are not even going to be his teammates, and he's on his phone for 15 seconds, and y'all want to blast him saying how bad of a teammate he is? Like, come on. This is just getting ridiculous. Like, just stop. Absolutely ridiculous. Point is, Ryan Sanders talked about it. Wiggins finally has a coach for the first time in forever. You guys don't understand this. These guys are players. They're people just like you. They are people. So when a guy like Flip Saunders passed away on him, the guy that he loved and looked to as the father, that is tough for a player. That is an emotional loss. And yes, you guys can say, well, get over it. He's getting paid millions of dollars. Yeah, it's emotional. I'm sorry. Deal with it. And he's coming out strong. This Ryan Saunders is bringing it out of him. I promise you. He's got that young, kind of just fun atmosphere feel for him. It's going to be big time. Wiggins is having a breakout year. I like the rest of the roster. The young pieces are studs. You guys know I'm very, very, very high on Rocco, Robert Covington. Love him. They got good players. Thunder at 14, yeah, they got Chris Paul. It ain't going to work with the way they're built right now. And this is the roster they're built with right now. So, sorry, but that's what's going down. Oklahoma, they got Gallinari. He's a 20-point per game guy, potentially, if you use him right. I don't know how, but Billy Donovan's not the best coach, in my opinion. He's not really that good at all. So, I don't know. Steven Adams there. I mean, it's just an awkward build. I don't see this team meshes at all. That's why Chris Paul's got to be moved. A lot of these guys just got to be traded. You see the way they kind of mesh together, but it's not meshing right now. Memphis, last. But you know what? I don't even know anymore. Memphis could be a playoff team as well. With the way Brandon Clark is playing, when MVP of the Summer League, Jaren Jackson's taking a big step. John Morant, you got him. I mean, the Josh Jackson, Jonas Valanciunas. Memphis is just stacked as well, folks. I don't know what else to say. That's Memphis, though. That's what I got. This will come down after. I'll talk about this all again later. Some more moves are done after the offseason, but that's what it is for right now, folks. Stay right there. Buckle down. You're not going to miss what's coming out next. SchuZ Zone. Oh, boy, I'm going to let you guys know about some of the stuff the media has not talked about enough. I'm going to let you guys know my opinion on it. Don't miss it. Coming up next, I know you guys all love it. It's a fan favorite, SchuZ Zone. Coming up right after this. Stay tuned, everyone. I love Giannis. Y'all know that. I love the personality he is, the emotion he plays with. Well, listen to this for statement, folks. Don't call me MVP until I win it again next year and I win a championship. Oh, and then to make it even better, he's only reached 60% of his potential, so, yeah. Have fun, NBA. Yeah, Giannis, I love him. He just keeps working. He holds himself to a high standard that is hard to replace. You don't want to mess with that. Kevin Durant's going to number 7. change of time. He wants to start a new era of his life. Love that movie. Now, Tobias Harris also has a number change. He's going to number 12. Now, he's also had a child friend of his, Morgan Childs. He's died of leukemia. He was Tobias' teammate and friend growing up. A great tribute. Truly, I love when players do that kind of stuff. That's something that just needs more and more attention. Absolutely fabulous move by Tobias Harris. Best luck. I know he's a great person. Awesome. Now, Damian Lillard, he said, I'm not that team up type of person. Talk about that during the summer league when he was watching the Trailblazers play. I mean, it's true. He's not going to leave anywhere. He signed the Supermax. He wants to stay in Portland, and I love it. I root for Damian Lillard. I'm a Damian fan because of that. Now, LeBron and Anthony Davis, you guys heard about that. They couldn't swap the jerseys. Obviously, LeBron originally gifted his number 23 to AD, but some deadline in April-ish, you have to submit what number change you want for next season. They didn't get done, of course. So there's production issues with the NBA. It's unfortunate. But Golden State did announce they're retiring number 9, which is Iguodala's number. 35 is KD's. Number 11 for Clay. 30 for Steph Curry, and 23 for Draymond, all at some point. Big props, of course. I mean, they just won how many championships? How great were they? Yeah. Not surprising there. Now, Rob Pelinka made another bold statement, which is true, though. It's a title bust for LA. It is. They have to win with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. They got all the pieces they need to win. They need to go out there and win a championship. Now, Sean Marks reportedly found out about Kevin Durant coming to Brooklyn via Instagram. Modern day technology, what do you know? Kevin Durant basically said, yes, I'm walking on the team, but I think it was pretty much set up. They knew he was coming. End of story there. They were getting other stuff done. Now, Sean Marks did specifically say, and he wanted us to be told, the Nets stand to stick to the process, which is perfect, because like I said, Kevin Durant's out. It's another year for Karis, allows you guys to develop, which is big time. Now, Kevin Durant also forced Golden State to add a first-round pick, because he could have just signed outright with Brooklyn, but he wanted to do the trade, is what happens, so Brooklyn did get a heavily protected first-round pick. Mark Cuban was just fined $50,000 for leaking information about the government boards. Daryl Morey was also, and the ownership was fined Houston Rockets because of talking about the Chris Paul trade and the Westbrook trade prior to it becoming official. Now, Lance Stevenson, he will probably have to settle for a minimum, but there's not much interest in him. For all I know, there's been more interest in guys like Amari Stoudemire and Monte Ellis than him, which is not a good sign for him. Now, that does wrap up SchuZ Zone. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. There's some big-time stuff that's always going down. You're not going to miss it, guys. Stay tuned. This happens every week. End of the episode. It's big time. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. This does wrap up, though, SchuZ Views episode 26. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. But let me just let you guys know, there's some big-time things coming up, and there's only one way to find out. Go and follow me as Schumaker on Instagram or Twitter. Also, go check out my YouTube channel at the breakdown. I mean, it's big time. You're not going to miss that. Where you can catch out my first show. You can go follow me on anything. Facebook also got a Facebook page going like that. Now, so much that's going on. There's only one way. You have to go do all that. Go find out, because listen, the breakdown, my show that I break down mixtape with the top players. It's the first episode's already out. Next one's coming out Wednesday. You're not going to miss it. It's big time. Cho Morio was in the last one. Big shout out to him for being on it. Now, also, series is starting up. You guys are not going to want to miss that. Trust me. Strive for Greatness Blue Chip series starts Friday, but on Wednesday I have something special for you guys. I'm going to have a few guests on for the Wednesday episode where I break down some of the top Summer League players of this year's Summer League. It's going to be awesome. You're going to hear from so many different guys like Jordan Howard. You're not going to miss it. It's big time. Now, make sure you go subscribe, like, comment, whatever you have to do to continue to grow the SchuZ Views brand. Go make sure you subscribe, though. Please go make sure you do that and give it a 5-star for this podcast. Anything you can do helps big time. Trust me, it's huge. I mean, so much that's going to be going down. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me, though. With that being said, I just want to say this. SchuZ is out. Everyone go be the light of God, and God bless.